Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and this is Westworld, Season 3, Episode 8, Crisis Theory. Welcome, everybody. I didn't know it was going to take, an hour and 15 minutes for that episode, so I had to fudge things a little bit. Let's take care of some business first before we get to it. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, there's going to be a video that pops up here at the very end. Take a look at the video. If you like it, hit the subscribe button. If you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, hit the bell down below. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Best thing to do is to go to suspendedfanimation.com. That is where I have the weekly schedule up for all my live streams and all the links to my other social media stuff. So Twitter, Instagram, Patreon page, but no tier setup as of yet. I also put that schedule up on my Facebook page. And speaking of Facebook, there's a Facebook group page where you guys can post stuff up and talk amongst yourselves. All right. With that stuff out of the way, wrong one. Spoiler alert. I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch the episode. Come on back. This will be a video you can comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch, for the paddle. That's what I was going for first there. All right. Season finale, and wow. So we had a lot of stuff going on here. I had a theory that I had posted last week in the comment section of the last video that I was thinking that maybe Caleb was actually Sirach's brother at one point, because why would the hologram pop up when Caleb passed, but not when Dolores passed? That wasn't explored at all. Caleb was just Caleb. He was just somebody that was out there. And there was also another interesting theory that I had read about, was that in season 1, the very first episode, Dolores is talking to Teddy about Judas cows and how you need to spot the Judas cow in the herd. And that's the cow that leads all the other cows to slaughter, really. And that's, I started thinking, well, maybe that is the callback to, how she picked Caleb. Caleb is the Judas cow for the rest of humanity to take us all to slaughter. And possibly maybe he is still. I mean, because, yes, at the end of everything here, yes, we do have Dolores getting uploaded, although I thought her memories were being deleted. So this is the thing that kind of bothers me about this. The way they were saying was that they were deleting Dolores's memories. Now, are they deleting them or are they uploading them to Rehoboam? You can't have one or the other. And so they were saying the reason why Rehoboam reset itself is because all of Dolores's mind got uploaded to Rehoboam. Well, wait a minute. You just said they were deleting her memories, not uploading the memories. So which one is it? That was kind of confusing to me at that point. And you could tell whoever wrote that part doesn't understand computers at all. And it was one of those weird things that didn't make any sense to me. And so I was kind of confused by that. But yeah, I mean, we got to see Ashton Giggles again. Basically, it was a run across the city for Caleb to get to get into Insight so he could upload the drive. And of course, we knew he was going to get caught at some point in time. Dolores knew he was going to get caught. Dolores knew she was going to get caught too. And that's what her whole plan was to begin with. We also have Bernard and Stubbs facing off against William, who ends up being a little bit batshit crazy and thinking that he's going to protect the world. And he goes off on his own little mission while Bernard and Stubbs get handed off a case, or actually Bernard gets handed off a case by an old friend of his and told to go and meet Dolores. And so that whole aside with Bernard going to Arnold's wife, Lauren, who is now elderly and has dementia and whatnot, to get some kind of closure, it was kind of weird. And I think we should have had that maybe a couple episodes ago. And just having Bernard carrying around that case would have made things interesting, and not having the access to that case. Yes, Gina Torres in there was awesome. But at the same time, it was just kind of a weird side mission, if you will, at this point, to have in the season finale. That was just one of the weird things. It should have happened maybe earlier before they went and met William, I think is what that might have, helped a little bit more. Excuse me. Andy says, I like how the EMP can't even break a camera. Yeah, I know. I know. There was all kinds of weird stuff that happened, technologically speaking. But again, this is 2058. Maybe they have some different technology. I'm willing to give it a little bit of leeway on that one. But yeah, there were some problems with this season finale, just from a technical aspect. Um, there was some good stuff. We had the fight scene again between another fight scene between Dolores and Maeve, and of course Dolores now being in her original body, which was built to last, as she says, and she's putting up a fight by using the metal exoskeleton or endoskeleton there to block Maeve's katana, and actually fucks up Maeve pretty good until Dolores comes in and basically uses Delos programming against her and shuts her down, which I thought was kind of interesting as well. Yo dude says William is one of the top fan favorite characters, and they shaft him to the post credits and then kill him. Yeah, that whole thing. So Ed Harris is not a big fan of what they did to his character either. There was a Vanity Fair article where he kind of mentions that, and he's actually very not okay with what happened to his character. So yeah, let's talk about that elephant in the room too. So at the end of the credits, we have two different scenes. Well, one, we get Bernard. Let me go back a little bit. So Bernard actually opens up the case that he's given, and it's the basically access to the sublime. That's what he's got in his mind. That's what Dolores put into his mind all this time. That's what the answer was that he had part of the key. Dolores had the other part of the key, which she gave him. And Stubbs is all, shot to hell in a bathtub, decaying with ice on him. And Bernard puts on the little specs there, and as he's seeing into whatever the sublime is, Stubbs asks him what it is, and then he shuts off. So then we go to the end credit scene, and we see William going to all the different Delos locations, and basically he's been hunting for where the hosts are holding up and where they're going to be posting up next. And of course, he finds Dolores, and Dolores says he's right on time, and that he's going to help them. And we see a host version of William come out dressed as the Man in Black, and of course, he fights himself and loses by getting his throat slit. We do not see him die, by the way. We just see his throat get slit. I want to, emphasize that right now. We do not see him die yet. We just see his throat get slit. And then, of course, we see all these pods of hosts getting ready to, of course, emerge at this point. And then we go to the next portion of the after credit scene, which is Bernard covered in dust, which looks like decades, possibly. And he comes back online. So, yeah. Dante S says, we know the old man can take a beating. Yeah. I mean, we know that he can survive a lot of shit. So, I don't know. He could still be alive. Dante S says, sometimes Westworld tried to be too smart and fool the audience. Yeah. What else there? So Andy says William whole season being insane, got played by Dolores, yeah, and undermined his own arc from season 1 and maybe die. I don't think he's gonna die, and I think he's gonna come back a little bit stronger than before. We do so. I'm seeing bookends at the end of season 2 and the end of season 3 with William waking up in the future, I guess it is, where everything's covered in dust, and Bernard waking up in a future with everything covered in dust. So my guess is season 4 is in the future, or are we going to have a 5-season arc? Well, actually, Jonathan Nolan said he wanted everything to be 5 seasons. So maybe we have another season where you see the downfall of humanity, and then season 5 is the aftermath. I can see that happening there. Why do we think it's still Bernard that came online? Oh, well, we don't know that exactly, Tim Kiefer. That's a good thing too. I thought that as well. I actually put it in my notes. Good thing you brought that up for me. We don't know that it's Bernard that came back online. It could be Dolores. It could be somebody else in the Sublime. It could also be his other self, the one that he always says, "Remember who you are," and he goes into kill mode. So it could be evil Bernard, if you will. Yeah. Dude says HBO reportedly renewed for up to 6 seasons. Well, I know they did in season 4. We don't know if season 5 and 6 are an actual deal, but we do know that Jonathan Nolan has said that he wants to do. He has 5 seasons in mind, pretty much like he did for Person of Interest, which is the same kind of it turned into a sci-fi show pretty much by the end there. It's essentially the same thing. And then also we have Rehoboam being the puppet or being the master of Serac, and Serac basically being the puppet. And Rehoboam has Serac's brother's voice, which was kind of weird that Maeve ends up starting to hear. Um, and Maeve actually growing in her powers as well, where she comes back from that little button that Serac has to shut her down, and she comes back and explodes that little device in his hand. How she could do that, who knows? So, could we see Ford again? Anything's possible, Asus Tech. I mean, if they throw enough money at him, if they do it in such a way that he wants to come back for it, you know, if Anthony Hopkins wants to come back for it, they could always do that. So, I'm still not a fan of Caleb's character. That whole thing at the very end where Maeve is with Caleb and she asks him if he's ready to go into the world as it is now, where you can be whoever the fuck you want to be, and it's just like, yeah, okay, that's great. Is she going to look after him now, or are they both on their going to go their own separate ways? What's going to happen? That part was kind of weird, and again, I just did not like the character of Caleb. Yes, I know he was supposed to be the Judas cow, if you will, and that's fine, but I don't need to see him in season 4. I really don't need to see Aaron Paul come back for that. I know there's a lot of Aaron Paul fans out there. I'm not one of them. So, yeah, dudes, I low key hope Dolores stays dead. The show struggles with having any stay. Yeah, I don't know. I with all this stuff about have uploading memories and uploaded personalities and all that kind of stuff. I don't think we've seen the last of Dolores either. So, Tim Kiefer says we still don't know much about Maeve's power to control tech. Unexplained. Yeah, exactly. We don't know what her powers are, and the thing is, they seem random and like they keep growing, and then you know if she had that much power where she can control electronics, could she not control Rehoboam as well? Could she not control Solomon for that matter? Could she have shut off the device to the EMP before Dolores actually reached it? There was all these different questions as to how much power that does Maeve actually have, because I guess it just depends on who the writer is for that episode. You know, Dante S says Dolores is the reason I hardly watched this season. Her story arc became horrible mid-season too. I don't think so. I'm sorry, I'm going to murder your name. New Grotha says, so who's the 5th Dolores? Am I missing something? I thought there's still a copy of her. Well, we had Dolores. We had the bodyguard, Liam's bodyguard, Connolly. We had Musashi. Yeah, you're right. Who is number 5? We still don't know who number 5 was out there. Maybe it was William out there. Who knows? Yeah. That's a good call there, our Nugrotha. Yeah. Um, Andy L says Caleb only made one choice the whole season. He is more blank than a young adult dystopian story character. I agree with you. Yeah, he is very bland, and I thought there was going to be more to his story, and there wasn't. It's just like, you made choices, is what she says. That's the reason why she chose you, and because he stopped the soldiers from raping the robot girls when the military was there. Yeah, and it was just kind of one of those weird things. It's like, what? Oh, okay. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, it might have been like the fifth one was the guy who showed up, and I can't remember his name now. God, I'm blanking on him. Who gave Bernard the case? That's the fifth. That's the fifth Chaloris, or the fifth Dolores, I should say. There we go. Yeah, the police guy, Cliff. Thank you. Thought there was another Dolores in Germany that it referenced. Lawrence. Thank you, Ashray. Yeah, I meant to look up his name, and I didn't have enough time, and I forgot about it. Quite honestly, I had like 3 pages of notes here, which I'm not looking at right now, obviously, because I don't have my glasses on. So I'm actually going by memory right now, which may or may not be a good thing. Who knows? Yo dude says Caleb being anointed the leader of the revolution feels very unearned, and it felt very Fight Clubby in a way, where everyone keeps calling him sir, and I kept expecting him to go, you don't want the soup today, sir, it's not clean. We'll call him Loloris. Wow. Delawrence. There we go. Instead of Dolores, it's going to be Delawrence. I like that one better. Delawrence. Oh, God. Hard to get around those ones. I forgot all about that. That was the fifth, the fifth Dolores, because basically she kind of came in and went, "Here's your case. It's a little bit of Deus Ex Machina that we're not talking about here, and here you go. I'm gonna go." It's basically the video game equivalent of you've now passed this level. You now can receive the special item. Here's the special item for you to get past the next levels. Ah, yeah. Ara Nugrotha says, "Is there still a copy of her? And if there's still a copy of her and they're alive, technically Dolores shouldn't be dead." Yeah, exactly. Dead. That's exactly right. And supposedly she's been uploaded to Rehoboam, but Rehoboam's been deleted by Caleb. So if she's still out there, even as Chaloris, there's still a part of her out there. I don't know. I don't know how this works anymore. Yeah. Yo Dude says, "I like Aaron Paul, but it feels like they gave his character nothing to do until the last 2 episodes where he became important." Yeah. Yeah, he was very undefined and kind of and like I said, he was basically there as a plot device, is what he was. Nothing more. Yeah. Andy L says, "And they are still using the crime app created by Sarek the whole time." Yeah. All these you're all seeing PC sucks. It's your own fucking app. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what Sarek should have done. Instead of calling on Rehoboam to call the cops, he should have used his own app in order to, get some cops on the way. He could have set something up. You think he would have done that already, but no, he didn't. Oh man. So yeah, where do we go here from here in season 4? Hopefully it doesn't take 2 years to get to season 4, although with production shut down across the world with the quarantine effect and everything, most likely we're going to have a 2-year gap between again. Yeah. Cheryl Lara says post-credit scene was more interesting than this episode. Yeah, I agree with you, Cheryl. It was. I don't know. There was a whole host of problems, no pun intended on that one, with this episode, and I think it was because they kind of had to ramp things up a little bit since they only had the 8 episodes. And they gave us a lot of information in the first previous 7 episodes. And I think they just try to cram in like 2 more episodes worth of information in episode 8. They needed a 9 and a 10 is really what they needed in order to kind of pad out some stuff a little bit more. Fill in the blanks, if you will. Yeah. Dude says, honestly, I'm okay with the gap. They haven't given me much to be excited about. Tim Kiefer says, non-host powerful AIs are a cool character. Solomon was great. Hope Joy and Nolan continue to explore this type of being in the world. Yeah. I do like when they deal with AIs, but I just wish they'd do a little bit more research on some of it. I don't know who wrote some of these episodes, but yeah, just a little bit of computer knowledge, just tiny bit. Did you upload her or did you delete her files? Which one did you do? Because when you deleted Rehoboam, did you delete him or did you upload him someplace? Because now you've got this gap here where is Rehoboam still out there someplace? Did he get uploaded someplace else or it get uploaded someplace else? Kind of like Dolores's mind got uploaded to Rehoboam instead of having her files deleted. What the fuck at this point? Because now you've created this disparity as to what actually happened. That's all I have to say on that one. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about on this one. There really was. And to work out. And I don't think we're going to see the last of William, like alive William. I don't think he's dead, just having his throat slit. Did Dolores actually download Rehoboam? No. So Dolores's mind was supposedly uploaded into Rehoboam. That's what Maeve said. Maeve said you gave Caleb access when you uploaded Dolores's mind to Rehoboam. And I'm like, wait a minute. You didn't upload it. You were deleting her files. You were deleting her memories. So either you were deleting her memories, which is what was causing her pain, or you were uploading her memories and deleting them from her body. Which one was it? You know? And yeah, I think she had, I don't know. I really don't know at this point, Tim, what to tell you. Because it's got me perplexed as well. I mean, I thought at one point she interacted with Solomon, but no, that didn't happen either. Made space to download. I don't know if she could download Rehoboam because he was in that gigantic defrag. Run the defrag program. Run the defrag program. No, there's sector drive sector damage to that hard drive. Exit out. That's a little bit of, that's about the knowledge of my geek humor right there for computers. So, yeah. Man. So what else do I have going on? Well, actually, hang on a sec. Andy L says, and correct me if I'm wrong, but shouldn't the key is too big for a host mind, so they will glitch? But Bernard seems to have no problem. He only had half of it. Dolores had the other half. Now, if you saw when he put on the goggles, and they said, okay, you got the 2 keys now, and they both merged together, become one. It became the key that let him in. So he had half the key. Dolores had the other half of the key, and she said she couldn't trust herself with it. So that's why she had it walking around in a case with Dolores holding onto that case. Yeah. I thought that was actually kind of inspired, having 2 halves of the key, splitting it up and then bringing it together with Bernard. So that was actually a pretty good ploy right there. That one wasn't bad. So tomorrow is May the 4th. And you know what that means? It means that they're going to be dropping the final episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars. That's right. So I'm thinking about doing a 6 a.m. my time, probably 9 a.m. Eastern time for the rest of you guys out there. Live stream on that one. Hopefully if they drop it at midnight tonight, and I can watch it then. So if that's the case, it's going to be a 6 a.m. start time for me on that one. Yeah. So I'll be doing that. Tuesday is going to be Future Man. Wednesday is going to be Is It Worth My Time? Picard on that one. Thursday I'm off. Friday is Harley Quinn. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off, where I take the genre news of the week and any other genre stuff you guys want to talk about and talk about it. Sunday right now is Bear. I don't know what I'm doing on Sunday. I might move Is It Worth My Time over to Sunday and do something there. And Monday is also Bear as well, but after that. But we'll find out what's going to happen. So that's pretty much what the week is looking like. And I will update that schedule probably tonight, so you guys see all of that. Andy L says, and no, excuse me, I already talked about that. Tim Kiefer says, didn't Dolores' father contain all the host data? How much can the marble hold? I know. Yeah. And that whole thing, the Sector 16 data that Sarek wanted for the Immortality Project. Okay. So where did that go to? Who has that? Was that part of the Sublime? Was that something Chaloris had, at that point? Is that the reason why they slit William's throat so they could actually upload him? Or I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. As Penn says, hit that like button. Like, share, subscribe if you're still on the fence about subscribing. Take a look at the very end. There's going to be a little video up here. If you like it, hit the subscribe button. You can find everything over at suspendedfanimation.com. That's all my links and all my scheduling as well. So it's all there. Or you can hit the bell down below here. It's a 50-50 chance of YouTube actually notifying you. Yeah. So, no, 6 a.m. anything, Cherry. 6 a.m. my time. Not 6 p.m. I'm going to do 6 a.m. because everyone and their mother is going to be covering this thing, and I figured I'd get an early jump on it. And since I'm working from home tomorrow, it's going to be a telecommute day. I figured I'd start really early and do that before I start work. Yep. Yeah, Penn, that's okay. I know a lot of people will be working and all of that. I just needed to get a jump on it before everyone else does. I hope we get the midnight drop tonight. That's what I'm planning on. If we do get the midnight drop tonight, then I'm going to be doing it at 6 a.m. If we don't get the midnight drop tonight, then I'll be moving it over to probably 4:30 p.m., 5 p.m. my time is what I'll do. Yeah. Unfortunately, my telecommuting takes precedence over that. So, all right. So everyone's kind of, now we're coming down off the high of whatever that was, and still processing some of the stuff too. And more likely, I'll add some stuff to the comment section of this video down below later on when everything is said and done. Hopefully everyone liked it enough where you're going to come back for season 4. I don't know. I know that the ratings have dropped in what was it? The ratings from season 2 to season 3 had been cut in half because of the season 2 ending. Like I said before, it was a 50-50 thing split on season 2. 50% of the people liked it, 50% of the people hated it. So that actually got reflected in the ratings as well. The ratings had dropped like about 50% for this season compared to last season. And that's no surprise, quite honestly. Yeah. Dude says I'd honestly be surprised if we get a season 5. I don't know. We're getting a season 2 of what was that Hugh Laurie one, the comedy in space that had abysmal numbers. I mean, it was really bad numbers. And they're getting a second season on that thing. I mean, they had less than 200,000 people watching the finale on that one. For HBO, that's bad. Like really, really bad. Yeah. Andy says, I'm smelling Game of Thrones season 6, 7 here. Westworld season 4 should be a no for me. Oh, I don't know about that. I think we're gonna get something interesting. It looks like they have an ending in mind. I mean, already they're tying season 2, the end of season 2 and the end of season 3, they're tying those together. And we'll see what happens. It looks like they have an end point for season 5 where they're gonna go with this. Everyone comes back as hosts and they all fight each other and no one dies because they can't. Everything is the same as it was before. I don't know. Strange that Dubai wasn't in chaos. Is what Tim Kiefer says. Who knows? Yeah, I saw all the different divergences that were happening around the little timeline thing that they had going on. There was a lot of different divergences going on too. But hey. But it gave enough time for Bernard to go and talk to his Arnold's long lost wife there and find out about their kid and have some hope put back into him. I guess that's what it was. Yeah. That part was just weird for me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight in the chat. Thank you if you made it this far in the video. And I will see you again tomorrow, bright and early tomorrow, hopefully, for Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may have a riot mech start shooting tear gas at you and have to be saved by giggles, which no one really wants that. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.